Massachusetts. Okay. And number 3, Tim Walz is charismatic. JD Vance is not. Okay. Hold on. Let me find the clip real quick. Oh, this was crazy. JD Vance also, again, generational run, generational talent. Obviously, many people are wondering how he does it. Okay. How many people are wondering what the JD Vance method is. Okay. How does he do it? How does he go and get booed during his speech at the Firefighters convention? Why is it that like he constantly keeps putting himself in this position where like you can immediately look at the VP pick on the other side of the race and recognize the genuine differences in the way that normal humans receive these 2 separate VP picks? We already know this. We already watched it with JD Vance's donut shop altercation, okay, where I will be playing that and then side by side compare it to like Tim Walz making a, doing an order at a local establishment. Let's just watch.
So Vance just addressed the Firefighters Union convention in Boston, and Walz spoke to that same group yesterday. One of 2 major unions, I should point out, that has yet to endorse in the presidential race. Talk about the difference both in their message and in the reception.
The politics of organized labor have been really interesting in this race because what we saw in this race, what we saw in the last race, frankly, was in many cases union leadership backing Democrats and union members in some cases voting for Trump. It's always been an area where he's been stronger than traditional Republicans have been. Here, in the case of this dueling appearances at this Firefighters Union convention, we saw Tim Walz give a directly pro-labor address yesterday. Now, both he and Vance included elements of their own personal story, their own personal experiences with firefighters, with EMTs, tried to kind of humanize their messages. I think it was very clear that the Walz approach yesterday was more effective in the room than the JD Vance approach today.
Yeah. Here is Tim Walz, okay? Fox News carried part of Tim Walz's speech to Firefighters Union in Boston where he attacks Trump and highlights the dangers of Project 2025.
He blocked overtime benefits for millions of workers. He opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage.
Let's watch how Walz, watch how Walz talked. RIP Twitter in Brazil. Oh, is that why people are talking about how Twitter is down? Do I have that many Brazilian chatters?
Even proposed slashing budgets for federal fire service programs. Those are just simply facts. But look, it's not just what they've done, it's what they're going to do. This is the big thing. One of the goals of their Project 2025 is to screw the middle class, making it harder for workers to collectively bargain, allowing employers to drastically cut overtime or eliminate it, slash taxes for the ultra-wealthy by imposing a national sales tax on the rest of us. Look, I've said this, I'm an old-time football coach. If you draw up a playbook, you plan on using it. Project 2025 is a plan to reshape what America looks like, moving away from the middle class and putting it right back on the oligarchs and the wealthy at the top. He said he's going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. That thing is pre-existing conditions. Those are things that make sure that our family gets health care. And for many of our families, and I know you don't get to participate in it, but your families do, my mom does, Social Security and Medicare are life-saving programs for them. Instead of funding those programs, they talk about cutting them. So here, this is what I always say. If you got $1 billion, you don't give a damn if your Social Security check shows up. But if you're like my mom, that's how you pay for your food. That's how you pay for your heat. That's how things get done. So that check, pretty damn important to protect it. Again, use their own.
The room is shaking, okay? The walls are sweating. My man is quaking, okay?
This is a guy who told his friends down at Mar-a-Lago, and this is a direct quote. Look, all of you you're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut, while telling workers that wages are too high. That says it all. And again, if you're confused on where you're going to go, think about what impacts you, your life, and your family the most. So let me tell you exactly what Vice President Harris and I will do when we get elected. As president, then President Harris will sign the PRO Act, making it easier for unions to organize. We'll protect Safer Grant program. It's good to see you say this. If you have to spend any time thinking if you want to support the PRO Act, that pretty much tells you where you're at, because that's a pretty easy one. Same thing with the Safer Grant program. We know it's essential to helping serve and protect communities, especially as we starting to see intensive heat waves. We'll keep fighting to protect your retirement benefits. lowering taxes for working families, and finally making corporations just pay their fair share. They're doing fine. They're doing fine. They can pay their fair share. Look.
So seems like that was broadly received as a overall. Okay, people like that speech a lot. Let's hear how JD Vance was received in that same room. Does anyone have the actual clip of JD Vance just getting booed? Because that's the one I want to show you. Just straight up getting booed, dog. Not a good look at all. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I... Oh, here it is. Here it is. It was in the docket. Here it is. JD Vance, President Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history.
Now, President Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history. And I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike.
Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Bro, come on, dude. It is like what is going on? How does this keep happening? How does this keep happening? Here's a longer video of JD Vance getting booed by the Firefighters group.
JD Vance.
When he first comes up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well, Semper Fi, guys. We got some, it sounds like we got some fans and some haters. That's okay. Listen to what I have to say here.
That's crazy. Insta booed. Insta boo. I would myself. Yeah, like if JD Vance actually had a soul and hadn't had that sucked out of him by Peter Thiel, as he was Peter Thiel's blood boy. Okay, if he hadn't done like Illuminati rituals to in right now, he would feel really bad. Okay, but because he is exactly that like bloodless, soulless, sociopathic monster that is constantly trying to be a carpet bagging ladder climber, he doesn't have any of that. Okay, he doesn't have any of that, so he will not be himself. Okay,
and I'll make my pitch. I want to first say thank you to Representative Jimenez for the great introduction.
He attempted to do a human joke as well.
Republican and Democrat conventions we just had. It says a lot who each party chose to put up on that stage. At the Republican convention, we were featuring everyday American workers, and of course, we had Hulk Hogan. And while it's tempting, and I'm sure it would make some big headlines, don't worry, everybody, I'm not going to try to take off my shirt here.
Like, remember the way... Oh, CNN is airing the first clip of the interview right now. Okay, we're going to look at this real quick.
Values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include
4 hours
holding
and 57 minutes remaining
to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and, by extension, the globe, around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
So, Phil, that is her sort of broad explanation of some changes in policy and what she would do as president now that she is running at the top of the ticket in 2024. But as I said, we did talk about some of the specifics, which you'll see tonight.
Dana, you mentioned wide-ranging. I don't want you to give it all away. Obviously, it airs at 9 p.m. tonight.
Don't give it all away.
What else, kind of top-line people, did you have an opportunity to speak to them about?
Well, we talked about, that was just domestic policy. We talked about foreign policy. But, you know, because she has not sat down for an interview yet in this very quick, very unprecedented race that she is running, how did that happen? The fact that we were even having this conversation wouldn't have been a thing a little more than a month ago, because she was running for re-election as vice president. And I asked her about the phone call that she got from President Biden when he announced on that Sunday, July 21st, that he was going to step aside and not run for re-election. And she told me that it was maybe TMI, but that she wanted to tell me the story of how that happened. So you have to wait, Phil, for that TMI for the story.
Can I ask, Dana, just from an observational perspective, you've covered Governor Walz. I think you covered him in the House. You covered Senator Harris, Vice President Harris. As you noted, this has been a whirlwind, and they're in the midst of a crazy sprint right now. What was your impression of them when they sat down as they went through this interview?
Well, they're just getting to know each other as all candidates.
Boo, this stuff is so boring. I don't care about like the vibes, dude. Oh my God, they're carrying. Okay, here is a couple predictions I'm making about this interview. Considering that Dana Fash is talking about all the vibes, okay, I suspect that they said some unhinged about Israel on this interview, okay, as in like unhinged pro-Israel. If they talked about it at all. No, it didn't go well. No, it went well. I think it went well. I think this interview, they're you know, they carried a lot of water.
Just a senator and a House member, but it is kind of the getting to know you stage. But they do seem to have a comfort level with one another, and the big question is going to be how they translate their connection to the voters, and most importantly, the policies.
Like she says she's gonna more Palestinians or something on this interview, okay?
Especially on the question of affordability, the affordability crisis in America right now.
Speaking of whirlwinds and sprints, I believe that's been your week as well. Dana Bash, we appreciate you unveiling the first sound of this interview.
Yeah, I'm unveiling the top of the hour ad break right now. Okay, that's my suspicion. That's my suspicion. I've been saying since the Walz pick they were just gonna run this on vibes alone and try to girl boss Brass Summer their way to the win. Yeah, we'll see. Dana Bash is one of the country's leading Zionists. She was a major Zionist. She was on a major Zionist organization board. Her first husband was the CIA chief of staff. The fact that they picked her for this first interview is bad, to put it mildly. Well, the fact that knowing all of that about Dana Fash, knowing what she has said in support of Israel since October 7, I suspect that considering that she is angling this interview as like a relatively positive experience, I suspect that Kamala Harris, if she were asked about Israel at all, probably says some unhinged ultra-Zionist, okay? That's how you keep the interview in an uncontested, non-adversarial capacity. I get her mixed up with the one that married to Alan Greenspan. No, that's the other one that looks exactly like Dana Bash, but is like tinier. I forget her name, okay? The tinier one that looks like Dana Fash. Anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now. How are you still looking for clues? What do you mean? Oh, Andrea Mitchell. Yeah, exactly. Andrea Mitchell is the other one that looks like Dana Fash, but isn't. Okay. They're hiding Harris because her personality is probably genuinely repulsive. Walz balances that out, but the more we see, the less excited people will get. If one more person tells me that there's a new Bernie Sanders interview with Hasan Minhaj about the ceasefire in Gaza, I'm just going to go directly into Wukong. Okay. I'm just going to dive directly. Like, do you think I'm not going to watch that? Do you think I'm not familiar with what's going on there? Please stop. Like, I know, man. I know. Okay, shut the up. I got news to cover. Please stop. As a Wukong enjoyer, did you know about the Bernie interview? Yeah. Okay, now everyone's going to be it. I forgot. The #1 chirpers in this community that are underrepresented, but overrepresented in the chat, underrepresented in general, are the gaming watchers, or those who enjoy the chirp for specifically gaming. I swear they are my downfall. I swear. I love them all, and I give them so much meat to chew on. But usually it's so obvious that you guys love talking about gaming, but you don't love watching when the gaming is happening. Okay, that's it. Gaming frogs think they're the silent majority, but they're actually the vocal minority. Yeah, 100%. I mean, anyway, all right. So getting back to the JD Vance, Tim Walz, same speech, like side by side comparisons. I want to show you obviously another comparison that happened like last week that was really bad. But let's
don't take my word
first.
for it. Let's listen to some of both men over the last 2 days.
President Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history. And I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike.
But I can promise you this, when Vice President Harris and I win this election, we'll have your back just like you've had ours this entire time.
So two things can be true at once here, Chris. Donald Trump can have a better relationship with union member voters around the country than many previous Republican candidates. We can also pretty regularly say things that drive a wedge between he and their support, like when he cheered on Elon Musk for his own union-busting behavior in that interview that they did on X. I think that's some of what's coming back to bite J.D. Vance, as he has to kind of go into the lion's den here and make a pitch.
Yeah. No, it's that for sure. It's that, number one. Number two, it's also because obviously they are in Massachusetts. Okay. And number 3, Tim Walz is charismatic. JD Vance is not. Okay. Hold on. Let me find the clip real quick. So let's take a look. Yes, we're going to talk about Elon Musk in Brazil too. Y'all are being annoying. There's a lot of going on. Okay. I'm going to cover all of it. Here is JD Vance trying to order donuts set to the VP end credits.
Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything.
I kind of want to watch the original one. It's here.
We really
Tim Walz and JD Vance on the campaign trail. This is better. Okay. Let's see how Tim Walz orders.
We just did a little rally on the side, but we had a little extra time. If you don't know, the iconic Nebraska restaurant is the Runs.
Is everybody else in here? One of the few. Okay. So we are, let's see, we're going to get, how many people, Nick? I would get a couple.
Don't call it anything else except Runza. The bread consistency, all of it really matters. I got the Swiss and mushroom is kind of a classic. The cheese is solid. You can be a little bit creative, but...
Okay. I'm sorry, man? Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Good to see you. Okay.
I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Nice to see you. Just so bad, bro. So humiliating.
This is it. If you're going to go to Nebraska, if you're going to go to a Nebraska football game, if you're just going to be a good person, you stop at Runs. I think it's the bread consistency. I mean, your own every day? Yeah. Get this guy on TV.
Okay. Yep. And just a random assortment of stuff here. How long have you worked here?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, sir?
TV for Runs Us. Thanks for the work you're doing. Matters. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Pleasure to meet you all. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, good. How long?
Everything.
Just everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense.
Ma'am, if you don't
whatever makes sense. Order whatever makes sense.
If you don't want to be on film, you're okay.
Yeah. How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years? Okay. How long have you been here?
A little over 6 months.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Oh my God. Painfully obvious how who goes to these places genuinely and who's just doing it for a media op. Okay, but like, how do you up ordering donuts, man? You're just failing to be a human at that point. You're not just failing the media op. You're failing being a human. Like, it makes no sense. Like, how do you up ordering donuts, dude? You don't have anything locked in the chamber, like no line in there. You just go, okay. He just sounds like an alien. He sounds like a goddamn alien trying to, like, not give the game away. I don't get it. But yeah, he is consistently finding himself. You need to learn how to cook.
The juice and then...
Come on, honey. It's a baster.
What are you doing now?
Caramelizing the onions, Nina.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
No, you need to learn.
I need to learn.
Trying to teach you. You're more interested in being a video.
Look at that.
Of course, Megaphonics has like deep cuts, dude. God damn, Megaphonics. I'm putting a shutdown on Megaphonics clips going forward. Not even relevant to the conversation here. Just wanted to send one of his goddamn bookmarked Kamala clips. He has been on the Kamala train way too hard, okay? Bro is a Kamala gooner 100%. Ever since he was outed as a mega donor for the DNC when he went to that San Francisco dinner where he paid $500,000. Ever since he went to that Kamala Harris fundraiser and paid $500 for one plate, he's just been on the Mamala train, okay? Yeah. Chad, it's not real. He's lying. Yeah, okay. Don't be embarrassed now. Whoa. He invited me as his +1. Can confirm. Oh my God. I was there. Can confirm. I was the dinner plate. Damn. More truths coming out. More facts coming out, dude. I was the fork. What? Oh my God. They weren't the fork. They were lying. Nope. I was standing outside. I saw too. Damn. There were protesters. Protesting the dinner outside. They saw Megaphonics walk through. Goddamn. I was his Uber driver. He told me to stop protesting. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Harris tells Dana Bash on CNN she want a Republican in her cabinet. It's important. Oh my God. I'm Brian me. I'm Brian me. I'm Brian me. I'm Brian me. Oh my God. I couldn't even read the rest of it. Okay. I saw you at Trump's gala event last year wearing your camo tuxedo. Yeah, I was there, baby. Hell yeah. Prominently in display, dude. I'm riding, dude. What do you mean? I'm one of the big donors. I'm trying to get that coveted Trump speaking engagement. It's important to have people at the table when some of the most important decisions are being made that have different views, different experiences. And I think it would be the benefit of the American public to have a member of the cabinet who's a Republican. Yeah, Obama did this too, and it was also bad when he did it. The Nikki Haley voter who endorsed Trump is so important to her. I'm losing it, dude. This is so stupid. Oh my God. They're going to eke out a marginal victory off of this, and then liberals are going to be unbearable as they bring about the fascist downfall of the United States of America, okay? It's coming. Get ready for it. Yeah. Republicans run the table, routinely call Democrats like pedophile monsters, communist vampires, or whatever then Democrats turn around and go, hey, you know those guys that are calling us like pedophile monsters? We should have one of their representatives in a key position in the administration. Okay? Why are you running against them then? Why? Why are you running against them? This is why I'm saying, like, they love Republicans, man. They want Republicans. They want to hug and kiss Republicans. What the f is going on, dude? It is so bad. It is so bad.
To a crowd that clearly seems to be leaning one direction, regardless of what their official endorsement's been thus far.
Joining me now, former...
New polling shows voters trust Trump over Harris on key 2024 issue. Yeah, the polls that came out recently, by the way, look really bad for Trump.